Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 60 Football Academy and 60 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling.
Welcome to 0 to 60. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. We're on the Believe Network as usual. Bailey's going to pay some bills on the ones and twos, and then we're going to get rolling here, Colorado, Kansas State. So, Bailey, let's pay some bills.
Here we go. It's going to be a great show. The show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform. Your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest. Pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker. Unwind with one of our over 150 slot games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Bet online, the game starts here. And the show is also brought to you by Cherry Bundy. Cherry Bundy provides you a natural product with no added sugar using tart cherries, which are the highest antioxidant fruit or vegetable in the world. It's used by nearly 500 collegiate and professional sports teams. Every NFL team, 10 of the last 11 Super Bowl champions, and 66 out of 67 Power 4 conference football teams. Big Matt, it's Thursday. We here. How we feeling? Buffs play in 2 days. It's going to be great. It's going to be, as the title says, it's going to be a war. How we feeling?
I feel good. It's been kind of a awful week, but other than that, it's fine. The game will be a good distraction. So, yeah, man, let's get rolling on this shit.
Well, let's get right into it, man. Huge game on Saturday night. I wanted to just let's break it right down. Colorado's keys to victory versus Kansas State. What are your thoughts? Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. What do they got to do? What are their keys to victory offensively to have success?
I think they need to control the football the way that Kansas State's going to try and control the football. That means running the ball, but not to the point of taking away your advantage.
Yeah.
I think that they're a lot better at the skill positions that Kansas State is. But, K-State is apt to these kind of games. Colorado just isn't right now. So Kansas State's been playing in these games forever. It seems like every week, every Saturday, K-State's ranked and playing in one of these games. So everybody tries to put a target on them, and rightfully so. They're a dominant program in this conference. So, look, CU's got to play within themselves. They've got to manage the expectation internally. And I think that as long as they keep Shedeur clean, he's going to do his job. I'll be interested to see what Kansas State does to counter Travis Hunter, and, are they going to double him? Because every time somebody tries to double or bracket Travis, the other guys just eat him alive.
Yeah.
So, we've been talking about that all year, the importance of the other guys stepping up around Shedeur and Travis Hunter, and they have. So, I think keys to victory probably start up front. Can the offensive line play with Kansas State's veteran defensive line, which I think they can. And then after that, it's Shedeur to the receivers and the run game. And I know it's all very vanilla, but that's the way this game is. This is you don't need to, when you're playing Kansas State, you don't need to reshape the wheel. You need to do things right.
Yeah, amen.
You need to go out and play hard and not fuck up, not turn the ball over, and not put them in a position to beat the shit out of you. Because if they have 15 penalties or 3 turnovers, or our special teams are lacking, or whatever if we're not up to par, I'm not saying we need to be exceptional at everything, but if we're not up to par on most things, they will take advantage of it big time.
No doubt. Yeah, and that is a team that will do that. Let's talk about the run game. What are you looking to see out of the run game? They're going to have all three backs, Hayden. I'm excited to kind of see the run game. They got Gustav and others. What are your thoughts?
I think the run game just needs to continue to mature. They've done a really good job of figuring out how to run out of the gun. Mm-hmm. I'd like to think that they took the opportunity over the bye week to put in some new stuff, but even if they didn't, it's okay. Just get good at the shit you're doing, mm-hmm. and keep perfecting it. I'd like to see Augusta get more run, honestly. Yeah. He's huge. As long as he doesn't fumble, he's huge. He's got good burst. He's hard to bring down. I think that they've got a really good changeup in the backfield between their different backs. Mm-hmm. Everybody gets run, but when are they going to roll with the hot? I'm saying, like,
yeah.
I know people hate this when I do this, but when I played there, we had in 2001 we had Cortland Johnson, Chris Brown, Bobby Purify. No one even really knew about Chris Brown until we played Nebraska at the end of the year, and he scored 6 touchdowns, went for like 200 yards. Mm-hmm. And then the next year, in 2002, he was the offensive player of the year in the Big 12. So. But, the week before the Nebraska game, Cortland Johnson went for 100 yards rushing and 100 yards receiving in Ames, Iowa. And Purify was just a rock the whole year for like 900, 1,000 yards. So when you have change-ups like that and you can just hit them with something different, you can hit them with, I kind of look at those three backs like those three backs. Like Chris Brown and Augusta. Like Augusta's, he's huge, and he can really get it. Now, he's no Chris Brown yet, but we'll see. Hayden is a big play guy, just like Purify was, and Welch is like a little shifty back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, just like CJ was. And we thank God they don't have a Marquisha Houston. we had that bitch on the team too, and he sucked. So, but I think that there's the potential for the offensive line and the running game to just continue to gel here. I think that it's really going to be really exciting to watch. So, we'll see. I think really think that what is it, Augustev?
Yeah, 6'2", 210. He can. He's fast too. That's the thing.
He's only a sophomore too. Like that's the thing. They're all big. This whole team, with the exception of Shedeur and Travis. And this team is not like veteran; they're young. Mm-hmm. Like there's a couple of seniors on defense. Shiloh, of course, who's like 27. but there's a lot of really young guys on this team. Mm-hmm. So I think that they're going to be good for years to come based on that. Look, I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see the lateral offense. The beginning of the UCF game, they went 3 and out.
Threw it to a couple bubbles.
And they had bubble screens, and it was like 3rd and 30, right? Yeah. I don't think that they stopped doing that immediately right after it's happened. So I just don't see that happening again. They seem to learn from their mistakes pretty quickly. So, look, man, the offensive line and the running game are going to have a huge, huge part in this game. If you can't run the football against Kansas State, you're going to put yourself in a position where they're going to be able to sit back and tee off on us instead of us taking the fight to them.
Yeah, no doubt. I like to see Savell Smalls in the passing game get tight end action a little bit. Will Shepard's going to do his thing. Jimmy Horn, I think, is a guy that could have a phenomenal day. I think a lot of the focus is going to be on Travis. Let's transition to defensively. What are you looking to see out of the defense? What are their keys to victory against Kansas State? How do they shut down this fast quarterback, Avery Johnson? Shiloh Sanders is back. We're going to talk about that later, but go ahead.
Just do your jobs. Mm-hmm. Livingston's going to have a good plan. He's going to put in something that's going to be able to keep contained. The defensive line has been playing their asses off.
Yep.
So, the defensive ends, are they going to crash or are they going to read? I'd imagine it will be similar to the UCF game plan. because it's the same kind of quarterback. I mean, he's not as big as KJ, but he runs just as much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if you rattle that kid, if you can get under that kid's pads and like really, hit him and rattle him, he's not the same guy. Whereas you hit Shador and he gets angry and like gets better.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's not the same guy when you get under his skin. Now, look, I have to remember too that Colorado and Kansas State games are just wild.
Mm-hmm.
They're always wild. They're fucking wild games. Like, because both teams are always good. So this isn't the past, obviously. I'm eager to see what this new edition of CUK State looks like. But the defensive ends, they don't necessarily need to be the contained players, sitting there waiting for reverses and shit. They need to be aggressors. But our linebackers and second-level guys, Shiloh to Hodge, to all those guys, they've got to be able to transition from the run or from the pass to contain and force. From a force player perspective, a second-level linebacker, second-level safety that can contain and cover, it allows the defensive line to really move and stunt, and that's what you saw from UCF. They were moving like just crazy up front, and they were putting a lot of pressure on UCF's offensive line to counter that, and they couldn't. So look, the defense has got to start as fast as the offense. You can't go out and give this team any kind of boost forward. It just can't happen.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm looking to see a lot of that out of this D line. How are we? How it's all about containment. This Avery Johnson guy, he's one of the fastest players in the country, in my opinion. Sean King's raved about this guy, but how do they shut him down? And then lastly, before we move on here, let's transition to special teams. We kind of saw some of those things addressed last week in special teams. Mott hit 2 field goals as well. What does Colorado got to do from a special teams perspective to not allow Kansas State to, take that over? Go ahead.
Well, okay. So look, in my opinion, they've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, since the Baylor game, they've fixed a lot of their problems.
Yep.
Mata hit a 48-yard field goal or some shit last week.
Yeah.
So that's huge. We'd like to think he can hit even further at home with the elevation and whatnot. Just don't fuck up.
Yeah.
Like with a lot of this is not beating ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Do your job.
There's so much of this game, like the Oregon-Ohio State game, whichever team doesn't fuck up is going to win. You know what I'm saying? Like the Texas-Oklahoma game, I don't care what the rankings say or whatever.
It's just what it is.
Oklahoma's like won 7 of 10 in that rivalry, and whoever fucks up the least in that game usually wins. So as you get into these big-time games in conference where teams know each other, and I'm not saying CU and Kansas State know each other. Historically, they do, but we haven't played in 20 years.
Yeah.
It's the team that doesn't screw up is going to be in a position to win the game. And the team that does is going to be chasing the other team the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that when you look at it and you go, you have a veteran quarterback, they've got a young guy, it's his first year starting. He was there, obviously, watching Will Howard before he went to Ohio State, but he didn't play much. So is this his first taste of like a huge atmosphere, sold out national TV? Kansas State, they played, I can't remember bring up their schedule if you can. I don't think they've had a national TV game up to this point, but
yeah,
I mean the Oklahoma State game was on ESPN nationally televised, so that's bullshit. But I don't know if Kansas State's had as many eyes on them as they will in this game on Saturday. So it's as much pressure as there is on CU. There's equal amount of pressure on Kansas State, if not more.
Yeah, I'm with you because
people are still going out and saying that, that Colorado's not real and the Kansas State's going to beat them up. And I've seen a lot of comparisons to like Nebraska's front and Nebraska's defense for Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
We're not playing in Manhattan. We're playing in Boulder. So I think if you put the CU Nebraska game in Boulder again, I think you have a different outcome.
Mm-hmm. And here's their schedule. They played UT Martin at home. They played Tulane and almost lost. Probably should have lost that game, many would argue. They blew out Arizona. They lost to BYU. They got blown out in that. And then most recently, they took out Oklahoma State by 22 points. So, yeah, your argument is very valid there for sure. But, yeah, this is going to be a hell of a matchup. It's late kickoff, 10:15 on the East Coast, 8:15 Mountain. It's going to be a war, as the title states. But, yeah, let's go ahead and move forward here. One update for this game. Shiloh is going to be back this week. I mean, here's him earlier this week in practice. Just talk about what the type of impact he'll bring back to this defense. You know, they've been missing him since the Nebraska game. I think he'll have a tremendous impact this week. What are your thoughts?
I'm glad he's back as one of the leaders of the team.
Yeah.
I will say that we played really, really, really well when he wasn't on the field.
True.
And who's coming out when he's coming in?
That's a good question.
So I'm not saying that he shouldn't be out there. Anybody that wants to attack what I just said, go ahead. I don't really give a fuck. But I will say that the camaraderie and the consistency that you've seen the defense play with, we haven't had any like dumbass crash test penalties, crash test dummy penalties like Bucky has said so many times. You know, I'm not saying I don't want Shiloh on the field. I'm saying I want Shiloh to look at what's happened over the last month and go, okay, I want to be part of that. I don't want to be all of that. It's not Shiloh's coming back to save the defense. It's Shiloh's coming back to add himself to the defense and be an addition, you know, that helps us, that helps the defense continue to strive and move forward. When you've got guys like Stoudemire and Selman Craig and you got Hodge playing well and all these guys playing well, I'm not saying that I don't want Shiloh back on the field. I'm saying that working him back in instead of throwing him back in might be good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I understand that Stoudemire's gotten beat a little bit, but so is Shiloh. Shiloh's not the best cover safety I've ever seen. He's a hitter.
Yeah,
but he's also a guy that you know brings a lot of juice to the team too. So dude, this is what I'm talking about. Just fuck this guy off. I also think that, you know, he brings a lot of juice and he's a leader on that squad that makes plays. So he's got to manage that. He can't get too high and just start killing people out of bounds, but he can't get too low and try and play, you know, to make sure he doesn't get hurt again because, you know, he's coming off of a broken forearm. I think Shiloh's a better player than Stoudemire. I just want to make sure that the defense, everybody on the defense knows their jobs and their roles, and no one's stepping out of that to make plays.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm looking – sorry, go ahead.
The only guy that I think you can really say you do whatever you want is Travis.
Yeah. No,
and even he is very consistent with doing his job and grading out high. I'm not saying Shiloh doesn't grade out high. I'm saying that I want everybody to understand that if you do your job on this defense with Livingston, the ball will come to you. The interceptions will come to you.
True.
The big hits will come to you.
Yeah.
You know, I think that if the three techniques do their job, the ball will come to them and they'll be able to make plays. If the defensive ends do their job and they read their keys and they crash hard, they're going to make tons of plays in the backfield. If the law firm does their job and reads their keys and doesn't take the fucking cheese, like we've said so many times defensively, don't take the cheese.
Yep.
If they don't take the cheese, they're going to have 15 tackles, you know, but maybe a piece because the Kansas State runs up tempo and they're extremely diligent with what they do. So their RPO based offense is Kansas State, I'm saying, is trying to take advantage of people playing out of position and trying to make plays, just like our RPO-based, you know, sling the ball around the field, run the ball a bit to try and alleviate some of the pressure on Shedeur. Just like we're looking for guys that are fucking up on the field, that's the same thing they're looking for. And CU defensively here under Livingston has shown the ability to really fix a lot of their screw up from the first half to the second half. And I think Shiloh is a heady player that's been there forever, that deserves to be back on the field. You shouldn't lose your job because of injury. Now that's bullshit, but you shouldn't. But at the same time, bro, it comes down to everybody just playing within themselves. Do your job and go out there and lead and be the catalyst for aggression that he is.
Yep.
But no crash test dummy penalties. None. No crash test dummy penalties allowed. Yeah. So that's really the only thing that gives me pause. Other than that, we're getting back a really good player.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm looking at the depth here. He's listed as the 2 free behind Stoudemire. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll be some sort of rotation, but it's nice to have it. It's good to see him back out there. I agree with you on that. I mean, you got to consider he ain't played in 3 weeks. Ideally, some sort of rotation. You have momentum already without him. So,
it also allows a starter to go back to special teams and play more too. So Stoudemire can now go cover some kicks and be in a position where he can help the special teams even more as well. So
very true.
I would say they'll both play a ton. I just want Shiloh. I don't want Shiloh to get hurt again. So I hope he's coming back at the right time. I know he'll be casted up, and I know he'll be aggressive. And we're going to need him. I mean, this is definitely the game you want Shiloh back. That's for damn sure.
Facts. And before we move on here, just Coach Prime's comments on Shiloh's return earlier this week. Take a listen here.
Shiloh.
He's ready. Shiloh's ready. He's practicing. He's full go. Has a rubber cast on. He's doing his thing. I can't wait to see him back there because he and Cam they're unbelievable together. Carter has done a wonderful job, got a lot of experience, and he's in on some packages as well. But Shiloh's full go. We should have the entire starting defense this week.
And then to kind of piggyback off his question.
Yes. There you have it, Matt. Your thoughts?
Good. I mean, good, man. That's one thing. This team has been relatively healthy, knock on wood. It's
very true.
Everybody we haven't had any major injuries other than Shiloh, of course. And he came back from that pretty quick. A lot of people were thinking that he would be out for the year, and he's not going to be. So I'm excited to get the guy back. I think that it's a huge opportunity for the defense to keep improving. Other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, amen. And great start to the show here. Over 875 people here on all platforms. To you guys watching, I thank you so much. Make sure you hit the like button on YouTube, subscribe, and become a member of the Dungeon family here for only $2.99. Matt, before we go to a quick commercial break, I got to show this. So this is some NFL here. These penalties are getting a little ridiculous. Seahawks running back Zach Charbonnet was fined $45,000 for this block right here. You see, he's the lead block here for Kenneth Walker. He goes out. That is a $45,000. Oh my gosh, Matt, what are your thoughts on this? I don't know what to say.
The NFL is the softest, most ridiculous product on TV, and people watch it because they don't have anything else to do on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I think some of the games last week were pretty good, but I'm just, bro, it's not football anymore. It's foo-foo, and it's not the same. Will you get this guy the fuck out of here, please? Thanks. I don't need this motherfucker sitting here acting like him and I are the same. We're equal, but we ain't the same. Shut the fuck up.
No said.
I think the NFL has become and is becoming something to just sleep to. It's like baseball. I mean, I know that there's diehards, but like, I went to the Bronco Raider game the other day. It was cool. Honestly, if I wasn't there with my girl, there's no fucking way I would have gone. And I'm not going again this Sunday. Mm-hmm. It's just, I feel like I'm wasting my time watching this shit a lot of the time. But I feel like there's a lot of people that feel like that. I feel like college football there's a lot of passion and pride and intensity for your alma mater and, what's going on. But I also, it's also changed. But when you're watching the NFL, I'm just over it, bro. Like I don't really give a shit who wins and loses. I don't have a favorite team. I'm not one of these grown ass men that like go out and dress up. Like there's this guy that sits next to us with our season tickets that dresses up in a velour like Reaper costume, and he smells like my God in heaven. He smells so bad. Like it makes me want to get up and go get nachos every 3 minutes. So like you're a grown ass man. What are you doing? So yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. The NFL, they set themselves up for this. People are still going to watch.
Yeah, that's very true. The thing with me, the product it's tough. Like you can't. Fuck. I mean, you were just at the Broncos game. Besides Bo Nix balling out, like the product is tough to watch. Like you said, there's a lot more tradition and pride. Even with the transfer portal era, JB and others can harp on that. I still think, especially since they're younger, they're kids still, there's still pride and tradition on that. Once you get to the NFL, I don't know. I'm not getting into any of JB's opinions. Everybody's terrible. Everyone sucks. Everyone's a pussy. I can't do it. Yeah. Well, Thursday night tonight, real quick before we take a commercial, Seahawks Niners. Niners head up to Seattle to take them on in Lumen. What are your thoughts on this game?
Where is it? In Seattle or
Seattle?
Seattle will probably rebound. I didn't see them losing to the Giants last week at home. They didn't play well, but again, I don't know how good they are. The Niners are beat to shit, and nobody's playing on their team. And look, this is a prototypical 17-15 Thursday night sleeper.
Yeah, I would bet the under. But yeah, Seattle. Here's the thing with Seattle. I don't know.
Last week's Thursday night game was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was probably the best one, best Prime game ever. Like, it's been bad, especially since it's been on Prime. But yeah, this is the thing with this Seattle. They played nobody. That when they played somebody, the Lions, they couldn't stop anybody on defense, and that's alarming to me because I would think you hire McDonald to solve the defensive problems that Pete Carroll couldn't, and it looks worse right now. And then they go to take on the Giants at home, and Daniel Jones threw for like 250 yards, had like 5 incompletions. Like he looked pretty damn good, and and they lose on a blocked field goal like that. It's just
look. I'm not saying the players are bad. I'm saying that the league, set themselves up for this penalty barrage, and it's just you can't touch anybody, and the offenses are set up for even more success because of the refs, and the product is slow, and they fucking replay everything, and it's just it's lame, bro. It's fucking lame. So I don't put it past the fans to not want to be involved with it. But it is what it is, bro. What are you going to do?
Yeah, no, talking about the product, I agree with you. This game, I don't know. I'd probably lean Niners. They're 3.5 point favorites, I believe. I would probably lean Niners under. I don't know. Like it's one of those low-scoring NFC West games like this game has always been. But Big Matt, we're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial here, 2 minutes, and we're going to be right back. We're going to talk about Coach Prime calling out his team over, problems in the classroom. They got to solve some issues in the classroom. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Coach Prime responding to some of the haters that have kind of switched their ways, walked back some of their comments on Colorado, and much, much more. We'll go ahead and take a commercial. Be right back.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass, pro, and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. at the same time have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 60 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to. All right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 60 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 60 on Cameo at 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy.
And we're back. Big Matt. Got a lot to talk about in this second hour here. This game is going to be a war, as I keep saying. I mean, it's what it is. There's history behind it. We're going to have a highlight tape coming out tomorrow in the beginning of the show. All these highlights you've been sending me, everything is going to be great. I can't wait. I believe we're going to have the hype man tomorrow. Vicker's on. It's going to be a hell of a show. I cannot wait for it. Pre-game hype. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. Same time around here. And yeah, it's going to be a hell of a show. But let's get into it. So Coach Prime, he's been calling out his team on they're just work in the classroom. I'm just going to go ahead and play this, and we'll discuss further. Take a listen here.
You guys that's flunking something, you got to next week, or you're going to be out of the football stuff and into the class and don't have no more football responsibility. Because I care more about your life than this game. Because 95% of y'all ain't going to play this game when your time is up. 95% of y'all. Get that in your spirit and let it sizzle.
Matt, your thoughts on that?
It's a good idea, probably. I mean, it's school first, football second. I mean, that's the way this works. Honestly, if you can't stay eligible these days with all the online classes and all the all the fucking liberals that run colleges, all you got to do is go in and cry a little bit, and they'll fucking pass you just to pass you.
Got to play the game. Yeah.
So if you can't play the game to get your degree these days, I mean, what the fuck? So, yeah, man. I mean, if the kid isn't doing his job, then maybe you should sit him. I don't personally. I think that they just need to get away from. Yeah, this is always going to be college football, obviously, but to act like these kids are there to go to school is just ridiculous. So, I don't have a problem with Coach Prime doing this. It looks good. The GPAs are high. Guys are graduating. Travis Hunter got a 4.0, so I'm with it. I was a terrible student. I was never ineligible, so
yeah.
I hated school. It didn't affect my ability to go to the NFL. So 95% of the guys aren't going to the league. That's pretty broad. I think that's probably just him talking to them, because I think that there's quite a bit of NFL talent in that room.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I could tell you first. I mean, you made a great point. If you can't stay eligible in this day and age with the online classes and stuff, I mean, I could tell you firsthand, played the game. I mean, I was just a student athlete at the same shit. Played the game, bro. Just take care of you. I mean, it's not very difficult to stay eligible.
I mean,
online classes. So
it's full of a bunch of pussies too that run every school in America. So
yeah.
Like you really can't go in there and cry a little bit and stay eligible.
Yeah, it's cry or do the bare minimum. The bare minimum is very
life is so hard, and everyone's holding me down and I miss my mom and please pass me. And the fucking teacher that probably is dressed like a furry that doesn't know if they're a dude or a chick will probably be like, oh, sure, fuck it. Listen,
yeah. Yeah, the furry teacher. I don't know about that one, but yeah, you have a point. Last thing I'll show in this is Coach Prime also addressed his team, talking about the same thing as well. Take a listen here.
And those of you that are lacking in your education, your academics, let's get that up, please. Let's get it up, because there ain't no way we putting a fool on the field. That don't work. It's not going to happen. If you're a fool in the classroom, you're going to be a fool out here, and vice versa. So let's make sure we hold each other accountable. I love what I saw today. Coach, did you like it today?
Yes, sir.
It's good?
Yeah, and the one thing I will say to that before you go ahead, Matt, is, I mean, for those that speak to not having a culture and whatnot, which has been a lot of people up until this point, we see a lot of people flipping, which we're going to talk about later. But there's a culture there. I mean, the education part matters, and it's not like he's asking them to go be 4.0 Harvard students. It's to do the bare minimum and take care of your P's and Q's and do your job. Matt, your thoughts?
go to class. That's how you pass in college.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Go to fucking class and sit there and do the stupid bullshit they want you to do that you're never going to remember unless you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor or some shit. And just, that's it. Just go to class. Go to class. And go to class.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they talk about this. Obviously, this kind of access is because of Bucky and John Slayson and everybody up there who does a great job of recording everything and making sure the world sees it. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously you want everybody to get their degree and whatnot, but I want good football players first. If you struggle in school a little bit, that's fine. We'll figure out a way to help you and keep you eligible as long as you give effort. I'm not looking for rocket scientists. It's just not the way it works. So if we can get a super smart, 4.0 student and the best player in the world like Travis Hunter, which is an enigma, then cool. But if we have to help a guy who struggles in school but he gives effort, then that's cool too. So just because a guy has like a 2.5 or a 2.8 doesn't make him a bad student. That might be his ceiling. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Amen to that. Amen to that. Just do your job. It's very simple, bare minimum. Not that hard to stay eligible.
Who the fuck is this guy?
It's some fuck from Twitter.
What are you talking about, dog? You mean the freshman that's on varsity? You fucking dick. Yeah, you can fucking ban this piece of shit too. I'm on one today.
I can't. He's on Twitter, but I don't even know what third grade level technique means, bro. And that's inaccurate as shit. But anyway.
Fuckers, dude. Just come down to the gym and say this to my face so I can break your fucking face open.
Nobody ever will, man. Nobody ever will.
Shut your fucking ass up.
Says anything in person. But hey.
Yeah, let's fucking bring up my kid too, bitch.
Stupid fucking shit.
You better not ever fucking see me in the street, Mark Hanna.
Amen to that.
Let's finish this fucking show, dog.
Let's move forward. This is going to be a topic I think you'll have an interesting opinion on. Coach Prime earlier this week was asked about the Colorado State players getting $600,000 in the transfer portal, and he kind of flipped this. He has an interesting comment. Take a listen here.
It needs to be a rule NCAA-wise to, if that's your course of action, they should let them go and start their next journey with the whatever team that is that they've already been talking to, because they've already been talking. Just like the two guys from that we played several weeks ago, Colorado State. They said they were offered how much in the portal? 600,000. How are you offering 600 and you didn't get in the portal? Why can none of y'all ask that question? How are you offered 600,000 but you didn't get in the portal? I got time today.
Matt, your thoughts on that? I think he's speaking towards just the transfer portal. I mean, he raises a point there, but this is the wild, wild west the NCAA wanted. Go ahead.
I don't really look. This is then come down to the gym, motherfucker. Come down to the gym, and I'll meet you down there right after this so I can split your fucking head open. What is wrong with these motherfuckers, dude?
Just
Why are you
ignore
watching the show? Just to
them.
fuck around and talk about my kid, you fucking piece of shit. And all you other motherfuckers in the chat, fuck you. How's that sound? Cock-sucking fucking pieces of shit. Fuck all of you bitches. I ain't your fucking friend. How do I feel about the transfer portal? I feel like some of these motherfuckers should get in it and stop watching this show. Unsubscribe and stop watching, you piece of shit.
Yeah, well, hate or he can hate or love. He still watch and waste his time, bro. That's on him, and he's a dumb fuck. But let's get back to
the transfer portal is what it is, bro. If guys aren't gonna play, there's nothing wrong with fucking redshirting in the middle of your season if you're not playing to keep your eligibility and go somewhere else. It's just like a medical redshirt or something else. So whatever. I mean, what these kids are pussies too. Everybody's just a bitch.
But I think more that his point of it was the fact that they even have that so-called offer and they ain't even in the portal. It seems to be. I mean, some are calling it tampering, whatever you want to call it. I don't even know if that exists anymore. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
Well, of course, there's tampering going on. I get phone calls damn near every day about coaches looking for players.
Yeah,
this kid isn't playing here. Is he happy? This kid isn't playing there. Is he happy? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. I don't know if the NCAA is ever going to be able to stop any of this. I think it's impossible to stop. So you've got to just take it for what it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing. I don't know if NCAA is going to be able to do anything about it. The more as we go on, it's very interesting. I mean, Coach Brian called out the NCAA, but ain't nothing going to happen. And now the other day, I'm sure you saw this. They're eliminating a national letter of intent for financial aid and scholarship agreements. What are your thoughts about that?
As long as there's contracts involved, I'm with it. I mean, but again, are the kids going to be able to get agents? Can they unionize? Are they going to have money managers? Is there going to be a salary cap? It's bigger than just this. Eliminating the letter of intent, who gives a shit? What it is.
Yeah, it's definitely different. One thing that is interesting that we brought up on JB's show, there are companies, and this is interesting. A company founded and fronted by Kendrick Perkins, former NBA.
I want to say something real quick, bro. The next one of you motherfuckers that brings up my kid in the chat, I'm done with this shit. I'm not doing this shit anymore. You fucking coward motherfuckers have the audacity to say some negative shit about my 14-year-old son on varsity.
Well, they get blocked if they say.
No, motherfucker. I'm telling you, this isn't this stupid fucking YouTube show that everyone likes. You'll never see it again. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, this is these internet fucks.
Dude, I'm done. I'm done with this show. Goodbye. Have a good day. Fuck this.
Hold on.
Let's finish up and get fucking done. I'm not doing this shit today.
Well, what?
There's a shit on this motherfucking show talking shit. I'm fucking done with this shit, dog.
Well, don't
do it then, motherfucker. I'm out of here, dog. Fuck these fucking people.
Matt, don't. It's some fucking.
Fuck you. Fuck this, Bailey. How about back me the fuck up or have a problem with them? How's that fucking?
Dude, if I could ban this motherfucker, I would. What do you want me to, Matt? 85 to 95% of people here are all love.
I don't give a shit, dog. Let's finish the show.
Well, here, what are your thoughts on this? I don't know if you saw this. It's the company in front of by former NBA All-Star Kendrick Perkins. They're offering college and high school athletes upfront money in exchange for a portion of their NIL earnings. Interesting. Your thoughts?
I mean, this is the way it should be. Really? You're not going to, yeah, man. Look, this is the way agents go after players for the draft. We'll give you X amount of money as a loan, and then and you got to pay it back when you get drafted. They're going to do the same thing with high school kids. They'll say, look, your NIL evaluation is at $1 million. We're going to give you $300,000 as a loan and then put interest on it. And the kids and the parents are going to take that shit before they get to the point where they're, fucking going to school and getting paid. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read this and I'm like, oof, this is interesting. This is a very interesting thing because you make a point. It just, to me in my head, I'm like, if they don't complete their bargain, aren't they going to be liable for a giant loan? that they have to pay back?
That's exactly the fucking problem. Yeah. They're going to be liable for a massive fucking loan.
Yeah, so that's my only concern.
It puts people in a very, very bad situation.
Yeah.
So, but again, this is what happens when you don't have representation and you don't have anybody in your corner and you can't hire an agent, and the NCAA fucking being involved with all of this is the problem. Just can we please just get rid of the NCAA and just I read something today that they've got a 70 team super conference coming with outside funding and all this other shit. I don't know what's real and what's not, but you know, it's until they have backing and these fucking kids can have somebody actually have their back and have their best intentions in mind, you're going to see people getting taken advantage of and making bad decisions.
Yeah, that's a very good point there. And like I said, that's the alarming part on this. It's just interesting the way this has turned. I don't have a problem with it. I just am also not surprised that that's what we're talking about now. That's a tough position to be in as a kid. Tough. But hey, great show on this fine Thursday. We're gonna be back right here on Friday with the Hype Man to preview Colorado versus K-State. Oh man, it's gonna be a war, as the show is titled. And fuck these fucking haters, man. Like it's the internet. This is what it is. But yeah. I understand your frustration 100%.
I understand it's the internet. It is what it is. This is me telling everybody to go fuck themselves. I'm over this shit. None of you motherfuckers would say this shit to my face because I'll fucking eat you. So just keep talking shit, motherfucker.
Amen to that. They never say shit in person, bro. That's
because, yeah, and that's the problem. So whatever. I don't want to talk about this shit anymore.
Well, anyway, any closing thoughts on CU K-State before we get out of here?
Yeah, bro. Considering that the fucking opportunity for me to do this tomorrow is about slim to none, I think CU will win.
There you have it. We'll be right back here tomorrow with Vickers. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.